hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the monthly intuitive reading for the month of April 2026. You guys, all I'm saying is we better see some new beginning energy going on in this reading. That's all I have to say, because April, first of all, it's Aries season, which is the zodiac sign of go-getter energy. Then we are in numerology, and so the themes of the year should really start showing, and we're in a universal year 1, should start showing in April, this month. Yeah, numerology and astrology supports it, as well as, if you guys go back to my yearly reading, I did see a lot of the building type energy happening the end of March going into April. So here we are. No pressure. Everything's shuffled, ready to go. You guys know what to do. Please like this video. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and the influences of the week. And I would love if you shared my work. Okay. Comments down below. I always love hearing if it resonates with you, or any kind of comment you want. Questions are always welcomed as well. And I think that's it. Share. Did I say subscribe to the channel? Subscribe to the channel, if I didn't say that. So, all right, guys. Let's see what the universe has in store for us. Okay, that's all I have to say. Again, no pressure. Destroyer. Okay. So far, so good. All right, light attributes. Releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. Bam! All right, it's under need, though, okay? So we're going to be feeling the need. I already feel the need. I've been feeling the need for a really long time. So I like it so far, but, straightforwardly, this is basically saying you need to release what is potentially destructive. You need to let go of the things that are not working for you anymore, or are, like the card says, destructive. It uses that. It's a very potent word. It's a big one. So if you feel like a bad habit, if you feel like a person, if you feel like a situation or situationship is messing with you and destroying your life in some way, shape, or form, or bringing more chaos, get that out of here now. This is the month to do so. Okay, you got a month. You only got 30 minutes. 30 days, actually, in this sorry, I'm chronically online, so hopefully you guys get that reference. But anyway, okay, yeah, so you're getting ready. So you're letting go and destroying whatever does not work for you anymore. So I love that. Let's keep going. All right, action needed. Come to the edge. Thank you. Gosh, I love it already. I love it, guys. April, you're not letting me down so far. Come to the edge. Basically, it's saying you're right there. You're right there to jump off. You're right there. Okay? So it's saying come to the edge. Get prepared. Get prepared for the new life. Get prepared for this new energy that's coming in. Get prepared for the new job. Get prepared for the new relationship. Get prepared for the new trip. Get prepared for the new house. Whatever it actually is. Okay, so come to the edge. That's what that means. It's like you're right at the edge. You're right there. So take action. So do all of those things. If you are moving, make sure everything is taken care of. Okay, make sure the logistics, make sure you're just right. You might have to live out of boxes, for the month, but make sure you're right there. Okay, do not leave anything behind. Well, that's not the right word. Don't leave anything do I want to say unscathed? Do not leave anything unscathed, maybe? Basically, cross your T's, dot your I's. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So, I love that. Guys, let's keep going. I'm getting excited. All right, issue, nourishment. Okay, so you're having an issue. Oh, I don't love this one. All right, so we're having an issue getting nourishment. So we're having issues taking care of our body, taking care of our mental health, taking care of wellness in general. I don't love this, so we're having issues there. So do the best that you can this month to nourish yourself, but I definitely do feel like we have obstacle after obstacle there. for whatever reason. They could be maybe financially, time, maybe we don't have the resources or the time to do so. Again, maybe you're moving and you just do not have the time, or maybe all of your self-care items are packed up in those boxes and you can't get to them, that kind of stuff. So you might be slacking on the self-care a little bit, slacking on the healthy eating, slacking on that kind of thing. It's all right. There's some kind of barrier there. It's okay. You're human, but do the best that you can for sure. All right, challenge we have artist. Okay, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Okay, so I'm coming off of the last week of March going into April energy, and right off the bat, if you guys remember that, if you haven't seen it, please look at it. Check it out. There's definitely some block in creativity and inspiration where we don't feel inspired, and we're not feeling it. Okay, and so even though this card is in the light, so it's it's upright, it's still in the challenge position. So basically, it's saying we might just have issues in creativity and being that visionary and being that artist and getting inspired. So it is still makes sense because the last week was mostly April, to be honest. It was only 2 days of March and the rest was April. So it doesn't surprise me that this energy is of April, which kind of sucks because maybe you guys are, maybe this new life includes like a creative project. So that's not great. Maybe it's not you moving, or getting a new job. Maybe it's like literally you are trying to create something. And so for my creators out there, my creatives, I'm sorry, because it definitely feels like we want to go forward, or we want to do this project, or we want to be artistic and creative, and we just we're having challenges. Again, this could be challenges in resources, in time, in money, or just quite literally inspiration. So do the best you can. You might have to, since this is a monthly reading, maybe, I'll obviously do the weeks in April and see if it kind of lets up a little bit, but it might not be till May that we can start really sinking our teeth into that project and going going full speed on it, if that makes sense. But we have the rest of this reading too. We'll see if anything else comes up, but just giving you guys a heads up. All right, change, breathe. Okay, I like this. Breathe is always about take a deep breath, be in the present moment, have patience, everything is going to be okay. Just breathe. Okay, so that's changing. So we are being in the present moment. We are taking a second. We are taking a break. We are being present. Very differently from maybe past months or previously. So we just might be more patient. We just might be more in the moment. Just might be more present. There's not too much more I can say here. I think it's the, even though it is like Aries season, and so far we've gotten some hints about letting go of stuff so we can begin. This is basically saying take a breath. You don't have to go like this chaotic energy. Just take a breath. That's it, and take a second, and don't rush through things, or don't, lose your cool, lose your patience. And it feels like you're not, because it's under change. So it's definitely, I feel like we have changed that mindset, and it's going to be a little bit of a calm April, which is good. We like that. All right, focus. We have the moon cycles again. We got this in the last week. Reading. So this is about ebbs and flows. So this is kind of part of what I was talking about with the artist and that kind of that block, because this is basically saying the inspiration comes, it goes, and this could just, and honestly, it doesn't necessarily have to do with a creative project. I used, I think, the example of a mood last time. Sometimes you're in a good mood, sometimes you're not in a not so great mood. You're in a not so great mood. So, and maybe you feel motivated and maybe you don't feel motivated, that kind of thing. Maybe, so it's basically saying capitalize and focus on that. focus on the ebbs and flows. Don't necessarily force things if it doesn't feel right. You know, don't, it's good to have discipline, okay? But at the same time, this is saying like, not for this month. Not for this month. You know, you will benefit from capitalizing on those ebbs and flows. And so it's saying focus on that, please. All right, reflect. We have, gotta roll up my sleeves here. Okay, we have rebel. I think we had this in the shadow for the last one as well. But now we have it in the light. Okay, so challenges authority to affect social change, reject spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Okay, so this is in the light, and this is under reflect. So basically it's saying that we should reflect on how we challenge authority, how, you know, the things that we want to socially change, how we can actually make a difference, how we can feel, you know, I know what's going on out there can feel like pretty hopeless sometimes, so maybe journaling on that would be good. Reflecting on how you can be of service in that way would be helpful. Kind of like channel that energy somewhere, but definitely reflect on that and kind of like figure out how you can utilize your inner rebel, your archetypal rebel, your rebel archetype to create that social change and be the change that you want to see in the world. So I like that there. It's definitely a better slot than the last time it was. Responsibilities, chaos and conflict. Okay, so all right, your responsibilities are to navigate the chaos and conflict. So it's going to be a little bit of a chaotic energy. There might be some conflict energy. Your responsibilities are to breathe. Okay, I know it's not, the card's not under there, but since we're changing in that aspect, that foundational change of being a little bit more calm, a little bit more patient, that could really help us with the responsibilities. So, you know, definitely could be connected there for sure. So that is your responsibility, to stay calm in chaotic situations. So that means that there might be a chaotic situation this month. Take a deep breath, guys. You can handle it for sure. There might be conflict of some kind, but yeah, try to be as responsive, not reactive, I guess I want to say, this month. Money, finances, and career. Ooh, what wonderful artwork. Dandelion healing. Okay, so we're healing something. So this has something to do with money, finances, and career. So we're healing around that. Maybe you're healing from burnout. Maybe you're healing from compassion fatigue. Maybe you're healing from money problems, money issues, poor money mindset, something along those lines. Maybe you're healing from low self-worth when it comes to work. Like I said, maybe you're healing like your money mindset, but I see it as like as a positive thing. There, this is more of like an internal kind of situation going on here. So I'm not sure if anything is going to physically manifest here, materialize for you. But I'll tell you something, if you heal your money stuff, and have like more of like a abundance mindset instead of a lack mindset, that is obviously going to manifest physically at some point. So, but yeah, it definitely just feels like we're healing something when it comes to money, finances, and career. To be like a little bit more tangible, maybe this could manifest as like you're healing a relationship with a coworker, or healing it could be like a mending situation. I know it's not the mending card, but it could be like if you lost a client, maybe a few years ago, and the client comes back, and now you're healing that relationship and to work together again, or something like that. Very healing, maybe you need to learn something and they need to learn something, and you guys came together for like a, to heal together, something to do with like business, or maybe a business partnership could be here, it's mending or, you know, healing in some way, shape, or form. Like I said, I feel like it's like a positive thing, and, you know, which will bring abundance later on. But as far as like this month, it feels like, you know, we're just like feeling whole again in some way, you know, that has something to do with money, finances, and career. So I like that. And I definitely see that as positive for sure. All right, surprise. We have Hermit in the shadow, withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. Okay, so but it's in the surprise, okay? So it's saying that withdraws from society out of fear or negative. So this definitely means like you're surprised that you're not going to be doing that. That you don't feel like hermit, you know, being such a hermit, especially since it's coming off of this card. Like, doesn't this radiate like joy to you? That's why it's like this card has nothing but positivity like coming out. I hope you guys can feel that through the screen because it's like amazing. But anyway, so, you know, if this wasn't under the surprise slot here, I would say like we are withdrawing, but I think the withdrawing and being a little bit more introspective maybe is the norm. Okay. And so what surprises you is that you don't withdraw from society, or you are a little bit more social, or you decide to do something out of your comfort zone, or, you know, go somewhere and get out of your comfort zone, or be seen in some way, shape, or form. And that surprises you, you know. I like that. That's a good one. Friends, we have the Fates. Oh, I like this. Okay, so the Fates is, you know, what will be, will be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Not forcing anything, you know, it's just another reinforcement of like flow and alignment. Knowing that if someone's supposed to be in your life, they will. So if you have a friend that maybe the conflict here is something to do with a friend, you know, you can't force them to talk to you. You can't, you know, force them to be friends with you. Maybe they said they needed a break from you, or maybe they moved or are moving. You know, you can't force this friendship. It doesn't feel right. You know, what will, you know, if you're meant to be friends, you will, you know, stay together as friends. Like, you know, friendships go through stuff, you know, where periods of where you're close, you're not close, you're close, and you're not close, like that kind of thing. So definitely like trust where this is going. Same with community. You know, if you feel like maybe rejected from a community, or you had to move from a community, or stop going to community events or something like that, this could definitely mean like, you know, you kind of have to like let it go. You know, you can't overthink it. You can't be worried or be anxious all the time, like that kind of thing. I mean, you can, but, you know, it's not worth it. All right. Romantic connection, imagination, cloud. Okay, so this is about using your imagination. So this is actually really good for my single people. I mean, and people that are connected, that are in a romantic connection already. So imagination is like thinking about what you want, like visualizing, you know, visualizing the life that you want. So yeah, it definitely could be for couples, for sure. You know, maybe you just started dating somebody, and this month you guys are maybe like talking about or imagining a life together. You know, you went to the next level. But it's still good for people that are dating. You know, where you know, you have like a better idea of like where you want your life to go, and visualizing the kind of person that you want to be in and what kind of relationship you want to be in. And that gets clearer for sure. I will say it might not manifest. It's kind of like the healing card here. It might not manifest this month, but like you'll get clearer for sure. You know, there's definitely a clarity piece here that might be more apparent and stronger here. So yeah, I like this. I mean, I think it's a positive thing for sure. All right, and what's important? Victim prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Right, okay. So this is about being, it's under important. So basically it's saying like, you're taking accountability. You know, you're not playing the victim. That's all positive stuff. So definitely take accountability where it's needed. You know, you're a survivor, you're not a victim, you know, so it's important to kind of like get into that mindset. I know the word is like kind of complicated. And I don't have a problem. Like, again, just to reiterate, these cards, you know, it's not bad or good. It's shadow versus light. That's all. And it's a little bit different in that way. It's kind of like what's hidden, what's not hidden. You know, some things we use our ego a little bit more for. Ego's not bad, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so I definitely feel an empowered feeling from this. So it's under importance. So if you feel like you're being re-triggered or something this month, definitely this is going to come in handy, this energy. And I definitely feel like we swiftly kind of move into it. So I like that. Health and wellness. We've got fork in the road. Okay, so there's two. Usually there's like, with the fork in the road, there's like you can go to path A or path B. So this is basically saying you have choices. That you're at a cross. It says fork in the road, but basically it's like a crossroads. It's basically saying like you could take this path or that path. So, and here's the thing. I don't feel like either of them are bad. It's just, you have to kind of decide what you want to do. So, you know, you can take this path or that path. You can try to, like an example for this would be like basically like both the choices are, you know, they're both like, I would say like equally yoked. Is that a phrase? Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? So it could be like you're in therapy, you're on a mental health journey, and you're in therapy, and your therapist is leaving the practice, so you can either join her at her new practice, but she's only doing group therapy, or be assigned to another therapist at the current practice or something. So either way, you're like getting support. It's just like a different way of getting support, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, do you graduate to, you know, group therapy, or do you just find a different therapist and maybe they can help you with like a different perspective, you know, help you in a different way. So it's saying like there's not one path that's more aligned than the other, is basically is what this is saying here. It's saying like that's the thing. So when you have to make decisions, sometimes it's like there isn't one aligned path or the other. It's just you kind of just have to like make a decision of like what to tackle first or something like that, or what you think is the better option for you. So it doesn't necessarily feel like it's like, does that make sense, guys? Hopefully this makes sense. But again, it feels like it's not like a dire situation where it's kind of like one is pretty obvious that it's alignment, one is, you know, misalignment. It's not like that. It's kind of like just make a decision about what you want to tackle next, or what direction you kind of like want to go in. And I like that this comes out with, I know the Fates is under Friends, but like it's kind of like that kind of attitude where it's kind of saying like, it is what it is, kind of like, it's just kind of like there. I think that maybe confused some of you guys more. It confused me a little bit more. But anyway, fork in the road, make a decision on something to do with your health. Again, could be spiritual, mental, or, you know, physical. Okay. So any area of wellness. All right. Overall outcome, we have Sun, faith. Okay. So have faith. I like this. That is actually more like the Fates card. Okay. So this is basically saying like, have faith that everything is going to work itself out. Have faith that things are moving forward. Have faith that everything is going to be okay. It's a nice one to end with. So, all right, let's look at the month here in overall. So I like it, guys. It started out pretty strong with the kind of stuff that you know, you're right there. Not as many new beginning type cards. So not to say that I'm disappointed, but you know, it is what it is. But I definitely feel empowerment. I definitely feel like you're more calm. I definitely feel like you're getting a little bit out of your shell a little bit more. And you are getting ready. You know, you're destroying what doesn't work for you anymore. And you are right at the edge, right? To make that leap or do whatever you need to do. So, I like it. I like it. Like I said, I was expecting a little bit more, but it is what it is. Right? That's like my theme for this. It is what it is. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful month. Happy spring, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.